What's going on, Facebook and cyber world? Welcome in to the Ultimate Power Team. We are here to talk about the power of 50 and here to bring another life lesson for today. So, happy hump day. I was talking to a friend of mine from back home and we were joking about it being hump day, so I was ribbing him a little bit about that. So happy hump day for everybody. The week is almost over. The weekend is almost here. So welcome, welcome, welcome to the Ultimate Power Team. Today we are going to talk about when people tell you that you can't. Don't argue. Don't argue with them. There's no point in it. Let them be right in that moment. Let them be right for that moment. And I really want to have a conversation about that because many of us get convicted in the court of public opinion. Right, wrong, or indifferent. That's the nature of the beast. And that's enough for some people for them to give up their dreams. And, you know, a lot of times I coach with a lot of women, and that's the thing that I hear is a common thread amongst an awful lot of people, but in particular, it seems to be more proportionate to women, because guys, I think, tend to have more of a, what's going on, Eric? Guys tend to have more of a, I don't care what you're talking about, attitude, where women are more likely to, absorb other people's opinions, absorb what they're saying, and really, truly take that to heart. So we're going to talk today about what do you do and how you respond when people tell you you can't. And my position is don't argue, let them be right. So that's what we're talking about today. As you guys are coming in, please feel free to share the video out, invite some folk into the conversation with us. I am sure that we all know somebody who needs to hear this message, this bit of encouragement, this motivation, this inspiration. So share the video out to your communities, invite them in, invite them to join the Power of 50 community. I invite you to join the Power of 50 community. And as you guys are coming in and you're sharing, please say hey. Give me some feedback. If you have questions, feel free to jump in at any time. If you have comments or whatever, feel free to pop in. That's what this is about. So as you're doing that, let me introduce myself for those of you who might be joining in for the very first time. My name is Marci Batiste. I'm your ultimate power coach, America's #1 reality-based success and recovery trainer. My job is to help you disrupt your toxic thoughts and self-sabotaging behaviors so that you have the ability, the space, the freedom, the time to create your custom-fitted life that you love to live. And I'm a walking billboard for what creating your custom-fitted life can mean for you. It doesn't have to fit everybody. It's not a one size fits all. It's not even a one size fits most. It's a one size fits you. It's customized. It's tailored to you. It's like that brand new suit that you just took to the tailor and have them, take an inch off here, a half inch off here, or tuck it in here, let it out here, whatever the case may be. It's custom fitted to you. And just like you can do that with your clothing, you can do that with your life. It is possible. I always say that once you know different is possible, then you're able to do different. And so I'm all for walking in the space of different. I'm okay being a unicorn. I'm okay being on the island by myself. I'm good with that. And that's how you have to be if you really are chasing a big vision, a big dream. You can't let what other people tell you can or can't do hold you back. I was in a training a good portion of the day off and on. It was different sessions. And so as I was going in and out of these sessions, I was watching some of the presenters, and at the beginning of each session, they would introduce themselves and introduce kind of how they got started in their various industries and their niches. And what they shared across the board was, I sucked at the beginning. I sucked at it. I didn't know what I was doing. My stuff didn't look the best. When I look back now to where I am and where I am now, back to where I started, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was horrible. But what one of the presenters said, which falls right in line with one of the things that my business coach, my mentor, always tells me. He says you can improve on done, so just get it done, but you can't improve on nothing. And what the presenter today said, she said that a B minus C paper handed in is better than an A plus paper that you never turned in. And so that right there in a nutshell is why I say, don't argue. Let them be right. Here's the thing. I feel that opinions are merely a verbal expression of somebody else's perspective. Their opinion means literally nothing to me. It means nothing to me. Nothing holds a meaning until you assign a belief to it. Either you believe it's good, it's bad, you believe it's right or it's wrong, you believe you can or you can't, but that's up to you to decide. That's up to you to assign that belief to that thing. Hey, Pamela, it's totally up to you. It's not up to somebody else to decide what's right or wrong or good or bad or indifferent for you. That's all on you. And so I was thinking in preparation for this, because this was a huge lesson for me. It was huge because so much of my life I was told what I can't do, what I can't be, who I can't become. And I literally bought into the rhetoric. I bought into the rhetoric. I was born in Iowa in the late 60s, in a time when, I was born in December, 6 months after Martin Luther King Jr. was killed. So it's at the height of civil rights, and I'm biracial. So I grew up in a time and in an environment where people truly believe that the color of your skin made a difference in your abilities and your capacity. And yesterday we talked about potential. And so I didn't see potential for me because I was always told what I couldn't do as a result of the color of my skin, as a result of having a white mom, as a result of my mother being a single mother, as a result of being a daddyless daughter. And so you take all of that, the racial issues, the racial climate in the country, you take where I was located in the country, you take my mom's experiences, you take my dad's absenteeism, his downright denial that I was his child. He still denies it, and we're gonna be 50. Like, you still can't acknowledge you screwed up 51 years ago, fool. Like, seriously? But I absorbed all of that as my truth. And I based my abilities and my capacity in large part on what people told me I couldn't do. I had very few people in my life telling me, you can do, you can become, you can try, you should strive for this, you should go for this, you should go for that, you should apply for this, you should do. I didn't have that. I didn't have that because my mom grew up in rural Iowa. So her experience and her world is like literally this big. So she's teaching me from a world this big. So what does she know to teach me about a capacity in a world that resides outside of this space? She couldn't. She didn't have the tools to teach me beyond that space. What she knew, what she'd grown up in, that environment, and I wonder, as part of Power 50, I asked my mom the other day, it was her birthday. I was talking to her on the phone, and I said, hey, Ma, do you want to be part of my new book? Oh, God, no. Oh, God, no. Nope, I'm not doing that. Oh, hell no, I'm not doing that. Y'all see where I get my ability to say no, because my mama can say no quicker than quick. But she refused to do it. But I really am going to continue to pursue her for this because I think the story needs to be told. I have questions. I want to know, what was it like in 1968? You are pregnant by a Black man. You're living in rural Iowa with an all-white family. And I know from stories from when I was growing up, my grandmother basically disowned her. She definitely didn't want nothing to do with me. What was that like? Like, let me put myself in your heart. Let me put myself in your soul. Let me absorb your spirit and tell your story. But she was like, I'm not, I'm not trying to do that. No. My mama could say, no. That's how I was going to learn. No, with the long blink. No, she's not doing it. But I am going to go back to her because I think the story needs to be told. But I share all that, you guys, to say that had I gave up because of what they told me I can't do, I never would have done any of the things that I've done, because the way I grew up, where I grew up, I didn't see the things that I've managed to accomplish over the years as possible. I didn't see them as possible. They weren't part of my belief system. They weren't something that I didn't even believe in. I just didn't even know they was possible. So then I find myself going through school, and I was kind of an outcast because I'm mixed, and so the black girls didn't like me because I was fair skinned and I had good hair, and the white girls didn't like me because I was a black girl, and so I really just kind of didn't fit. And I wasn't an athlete. I was smart, and school came easy to me, but I wasn't like the super smart kids that got really all straight A's. Like I probably got B pluses because I really didn't do homework. Yeah, I refuse to do homework. I still don't like homework, as a matter of fact. Funny side note, but anyway. So I didn't really fit in. So I found myself with this gang of nerds and misfits because they would accept me. They didn't care. They're like, hell, none of us fit in. So come on, join our squad, right? That's when I got involved in journalism. That's when I started working on the yearbook and the school paper, becoming an editor by the time I was a senior. I actually stayed in high school. I graduated in junior. I stayed in January. I stayed in high school an extra 6 months just so I can continue my journalism work and my journalism studies. I didn't have to. I had all my credits. But that's how much I loved the paper and the pen and the journalism process. And that's where I really fell in love with writing. So as I'm beginning to graduate and I'm talking about wanting to go to college and become this journalist, what do you think everybody told me? You can't. Oh, you can't do that. Only rich people do that. Well, I wasn't rich. My mom never went to college. I didn't know nothing about applying to colleges. I didn't start college until I was an adult. I was already married with a kid by the time I went to college. And I still never finished. Because at a certain point, it didn't make sense anymore to complete all these degrees and rack up all this money for what? I was already climbing up the corporate ladder very aggressively. I wasn't going to pay. I'm not going to take on a whole bunch of debt. So once I couldn't get grants anymore because I was making too much money, I was like, man, not for me. I'm going to learn a different way. And so I learned in reality. So when you guys hear me say America's #1 reality-based success and recovery trainer, I live the life. That's who I am. That's all I know is to be in relationship with reality. So they told me I couldn't be a journalist. They told me I couldn't go to college, even though I got good grades, but I didn't get enough. I didn't have good enough to do a scholarship because remember I didn't do homework. But college was never on nobody ever told me I could go to college. So that was never a goal for me. So didn't go to college, told me I couldn't become a writer, never be a journalist. Ended up getting married. Life kind of happens. You have kids, this, that, and other thing. By year 4 of the marriage, I'm done with that whole process. I'm like, I didn't even really want to do this to begin with, but I didn't want my daughter to be a daddyless daughter like I was. And so I got married for the wrong reasons, and I got stuck in it for the wrong reasons. And so then everybody's like, well, you can't get divorced. You have kids. You have a career. You're a community leader. You can't. So for 10 years, I stayed in because they told me I can't. After I got my divorce and I was presented with the opportunity to move to Arizona. People said, you guys, I think I'm gonna move to Arizona. You can't. You've never even been there. You can't. Your kids are here. Your kids are still in high school. And that was like the first time. Well, I take that back. The divorce was the first time because I finally proved to them when they said I can't for all those years I let them be right. I let them be right for 10 years. And then enough was enough. I was broken to the point of I didn't know how I was going to put myself back together. I was 400 pounds damn near. Like, I gotta do something different. I gotta do something different. And then that's when the light bulb went off. Light bulb goes off. And so I'm like, okay, told me I can't. Watch. And lo and behold, I get a divorce. So when I'm presented with the opportunity to come to Arizona and start the bank here, you can't. This. They have all these reasons. And for a moment, I almost bought in. But what stopped me was I wanted out. I wanted out of the life that I was living. I didn't want to do that anymore. So when we talk about the custom fitted life, you guys, when I talk about these things, I'm not saying them for catchphrases. This is my life. This is my story. This is my truth. And I'm telling you, it's possible. It's possible. I'm proof. So that was the first time I was like, I don't want to live this life here in Iowa anymore. I'm maxed out here. I've climbed as high as I can get here. I need bigger market. I need bigger opportunities. And more importantly, I needed to get away from the mindset of people telling me what I can't do. Because I was offered this opportunity. So you know what? I took it. And I moved to Arizona. Didn't know a soul here. I packed up my house in 3 weeks, put it on the market, talked to my ex-husband. Can the kids stay with you for the rest of the school year? Took my daughters and dropped them off at their dad's 3 weeks later. And I drove to Arizona. And I've been here ever since. That was in January of 2008. We're going on 11 years. Had I listened to all the I can'ts and reasons why I can't, I would never be here. And this is what I know to be true. If I never made it to Arizona, none of the other stuff that you guys see would have been possible, because I never would have had a vision for that back in Iowa. People that I knew didn't rock like that. I didn't know any entrepreneurs. You was raised to go to school, maybe go to college, get a job, get married, have a family. You live in the community that you've always lived in. Heck, the most you might do is move to either the east side, the west side, or the south side. That was all I knew. But when I came to Arizona, I came with the mindset and the attitude that I'm going to create a new life. When I go to Arizona, I can be whatever I want to be. I can be whoever I want to be. Nobody is going to tell me when I get to Arizona, like literally, like guys, they're like, go west, young woman, go west. That was me. When I came here, you would have thought I was an immigrant, because I was just like endless possibilities as far as I'm concerned. Compared to where I've been, compared to how I grew up, this is endless possibilities. I can do whatever I want. I can be whoever I want. And so when I came to Arizona, part of what I did, I always went by my legal name, which is Marci. When I was in Iowa, when I got to Arizona, I was like, let me go back to my childhood nickname. Let me go back to Marci. And so from the time I came to Arizona, I've only been Marci. And so now it's funny, because when people see my name spelled out, Marcia, they're like, oh, how do you say your name? And I tell them, Marci, the A is silent. And nobody ever questions me. They believe it. My mentor always says, if you're bold enough to say it, they'll be bold enough to repeat it. And so that is truly, you guys, testimony that it's okay not to argue with them. I never argue with anybody. When they said you can't do this, I didn't argue with them. I just ended up doing it. Sometimes it took me a long time. In the case of divorce, it took me 10 years. When they told me I couldn't lose 200 pounds, it took me 2 years, but I did it. All natural, no surgery. I did it. When they said, oh, you lost it, but you can't keep it off. For the most part, I've kept it off. Other than it's like little 40 pounds I'm trying to dump back off now. But I've never gotten anywhere close to where I was. Even though they told me when I started that I can't lose the weight. I won't get a divorce. I can't go to Arizona. I can't leave my kid. Yes, you can. You can, and I'm proof. when I wanted to start my own business, even here, they're like, you a vice president of a bank and you have this responsibility and that responsibility that you don't have time to start a business. You can't start a business. You don't know nothing about running your own business. Oh, but I can run a multi-million-dollar financial institution, but you don't think I can run my little one-person business? You don't think that? I ain't argue with them. I filed my paperwork. And I started Sweat Equity Transformations. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But I have proven by filing that document, I can start a business. Now, I might not know exactly how to run a business as an entrepreneur, but you damn bet Skippy, I can start one. Don't tell me I can't. But I never argued with them. I just went and did it. I just went and did it. And that's the whole thing, guys. You don't have to argue. You don't have to try and convince someone else to believe in your potential. You don't have to convince someone to believe in your vision. You know, I was talking to one of my clients today on her one-on-one, and we were talking about next year, what her map looks like for her next year, her power map. What does that look like for you? And we were talking about, what does she want her life to look like? And I told her, I said, don't reserve yourself to only putting on the map what you know is possible. Put on there what you truly want. Don't limit yourself to what you think you can achieve. Don't limit yourself to what you have already been able to accomplish in the past. We're not doing the past over. We're doing something different. We're creating a whole new life. And so her assignment for this whole week is to think about what she wants her life to look like. So when we talk about creating that custom fitted life, when we talk about the power of accountability, my job as a life coach, as an accountability partner, as an accountability coach, is to help you see what you can't see for yourself. It's my job. When they're telling you you can't, it's my job to tell you, like, hell, yes, you can. You can, but you're going to have to do the work. It might not come easy. It might not happen overnight, but you absolutely can. And that's the thing that you always have to keep in mind. You don't have to convince them. Because, see, here's the thing about their opinion. Their opinion really is less about you than it is about them. Like, when I wanted to write a book, somebody was like, you don't know nothing about writing a book. You can't write a book. Okay. And part of me for a minute, because I told y'all, I shared with y'all one of the other videos earlier, is I procrastinate the hell out of starting that book. Because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know the blueprint. I didn't have the process down. But even not knowing what I was doing, guess what? I did it. And I didn't have to tell them or convince them or explain to them, oh, I think I can. No, I said, here, boom, here you go. This is it. This is what I can't do. This is what I can't do. So now they don't tell me I can't do that no more, because I've proven that I can. And that also was testimony to me that way back when they told me I couldn't be a writer back in high school. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Look what I did. And I don't share this with you guys as a form of bragging or speaking on this is not even about my accolades. Like I told you in the beginning, I'm not a unicorn. I'm not sprinkled with fairy dust. Yes, I'm fabulous, but I'm not a unicorn. These strategies work. It's a mindset shift that you have to go through. If you continue to think that you have to defend, explain, and obligate yourself to other people's opinions, you'll never, ever, ever reach your dreams. You'll never reach your vision. You'll never do the things that you want to do, because you will always have people telling you that you can't, because they don't believe they can. So here's a tip. So one of the reality-based strategies that I use, hey Donovan, one of the reality-based strategies that I use with clients is what I call the turnaround. And the turnaround it's actually part of a larger process in learning how to question reality. And that's more on the lines of self-talk and self-belief and your own belief systems. And so, but the turnaround is like the final step, right? And this is what you have to learn to do. When people tell you that you can't, you don't have to explain. You don't have to argue. Let them think they're right. Let them think they're right. But in your mind, when they say you can't, I want you to turn that around. And what you hear is you hear them saying, I can't. I can't. And that works. It works both directions. So when you begin, like on the negative self-talk, for instance, if you find yourself having negative self-talk, or you find yourself being judgy and being judgmental of other people, check that. Check that. And this is how you check that. You turn it around. She knows she's too big for that outfit. She shouldn't be wearing that. Turn it around. Say it to yourself. I know I'm too big for that. I know I shouldn't be wearing that. I know I wouldn't wear that. Wouldn't catch me dead in that. That's what you're really saying when you're judging other people. So if you're a judgmental person, stop it. Turn it around. How does that feel when you're talking about yourself, right? And so that's what you have to do when people are telling you that you can't. It's not about what they believe. It's about what you tell yourself and what you are committed to trying to achieve, what you are committed to accomplishing. You have to believe there's more. You have to believe that different is possible. And I shared what I shared with you about my personal experiences to show you that it's possible. I'm a mixed girl from Iowa, from the 60s, back in the heat of the civil rights. My mama laid up with a black dude. That's my reality. And all the things that they told me all my life I couldn't be. I was never black enough. I was never white enough. I wasn't never nothing right enough. Everybody told me what I can't do. And had I stopped every single time somebody said I can't, I never would have become. You know, one of the things that I hold near and dear to my heart is a saying that says, as long as you remain attached to who you used to be, you'll never have the courage to become who you're meant to be. You'll never have the courage to become who you're meant to be because you're attached to that story. You're attached to what they've told you who you are. I said yesterday, I may have done the things you say I did, but I'm not who you say I am. You don't get to define me. You don't get to tell me what I can and can't do. I'm gonna show you. More importantly, I'm gonna show me what I can do. You know, when I was talking to my client this morning, we were talking about my visions and my dreams for myself, and I was sharing with her part of what I want to do is to live abroad part of the year. I was hoping to do that in 2018. What I realized was I hadn't built the business structure so that it was conducive to that lifestyle. So I had to take a step back and I had to rebuild. I invested a year rebuilding what the business was supposed to look like. So now we're chugging along in the right direction. And then I'm going to give it a whole nother year. So by the time 2020 rolls around, boom, I'm in Ecuador, I'm in Belize, I'm wherever I want to be. I can be wherever I want to be because that's how I'm creating my custom fitted life. So I didn't give up the vision because it didn't work for me in 2018. The vision is still there. What I realized was I need to incorporate some different strategies in order to align and create the life and stability and the foundation here in the U.S. that's going to allow me to live abroad and not have to work in another country. I'll be earning my income still from the U.S. and from my company here, just traveling just to speak. Speaking, you got to travel anyway. So I can do that from anywhere. Writing books, I can do that from anywhere. But I had to build the coaching out to allow me to do that from anywhere. And so that's what really 2 years making an investment because the vision is still there. Even though there were people that said, you can't. I remember when I told them I wanted to move to Ecuador, Lord have mercy, everybody had an opinion. Matter of fact, I stopped speaking to one person because they were so negative. Cut them off, clean off. Like, told me my dreams were stupid. Oh no, boo boo, that's what we're not gonna do today. That's not what we're not doing that here. So you can believe that my dream and my vision is stupid. And what I heard him say was it's stupid for me. Meaning him. It's not stupid for me. It's my vision, it's my dream. It's what I want to do. Nobody asked you to come to Belize with me anyway. Nobody asked you to go to Ecuador. People tell me how dangerous it was. People was talking about the language. They were talking about the food. They were talking about shots. They were talking. Do you know there's a whole country that lives in Ecuador, right? So if it's not possible, I have proof that people can live in Ecuador. So you can't tell me that if those however many hundreds of thousands of millions of people can successfully live in Ecuador, and all the expats that are from the US living in Ecuador, and they can all do it, but I can't, man, bye. I don't even have time for that conversation. So there was no way in the entire hell I was going to try and justify that. That's their beliefs. Let them believe it. That's they're just verbalizing their perception about themselves. Ain't got nothing to do with me. All right. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. Thank you so much. I think I just saw Matt jump on. What's going on, Matt? So that's the message for today, guys. When they tell you that you can't, don't argue. Let them be right. And then you do what you need to do to make your dreams come true. Create your own custom fitted life. You got this. All right. That's it for me tonight, guys. I'm out of here. Thanks as always for being part of the Ultimate Power Team and for living life on Mars with me, and now for creating your own custom fitted life. So I'll talk to you guys later. Have an amazing, amazing day. Matt Patterson, what's good? I need to talk to you too. I'm gonna hit you up. But anyway, y'all have a great night. I will speak with you all tomorrow for another life lesson. Have a good night.